It's a lovely morning as we welcome all our viewers around the world to the paper review for this morning. My name is Ige or Lalekon. Morire, how was your weekend?
Thank God we survived it. The weekend has come and gone. No matter the hardship they put on us as the fuel, network, and the way everything is ongoing in Nigeria, I pray to God Almighty that we enjoy Sukkot, because my dear brother, it's not easy. It's not easy when it comes to transport fare, students going to schools from distance and things like that. It's just a certain disappointment. Certain disappointment in the sense that people were expecting the coming of Bola Tinubu to bring a change, which we felt is going to be a rapid thing. But I must confess that yes, the fault is not Tinubu's fault, rather Nigerians' fault. My name is Lawan, and it's going to be an interesting ride this morning, and I want everyone to sit tight to enjoy what we have today on newspaper review from BGI TV Current. Please subscribe on the YouTube handle, which is BGI TV Current. Kindly subscribe and click on the notification bell. Subscribe and you keep enjoying every bit of our broadcast. On the first paper with me, it's the Punch, and first one, which is the first rider. Senate gears up for ministerial screening. Awaits list this week. The way they've been cheering up for ministerial screening and the likes, don't you think we are aspiring for people, not aspiring for people to come on and represent and do the needful? The only minister I want to vouch for during the last dispensation, during Buhari's administration, was former Lagos State Governor Raji Fashola. I'm not saying you should give me a list of your own ministerial, but all the same, all of these news coming up, Nigeria remains a country where this week they will throw onto us a very particular story. What do you think?
Well, Morire, I think I want to agree with you, but in the other way around, there is something I want you to take note of.
All right.
I believe this current administration, well, from the look of things, and as he has started, I think he's going to take a different focus on the area of the appointment of ministers. And just like the headline you read from your own end over there, from the Vanguard newspaper here, I have Tinubu urged deadline, replaces 4 names on ministerial list. And from the rider, APC, choice of APC chairman creates ripples in APC. But just like you said, I believe that Tinubu wants to take his time to choose the right people that will be able to fix him for the job. But at the same time, you know, if we want to look at the antecedents of Tinubu while he was the governor of Lagos State, as in that was 1999, we'll see that to some extent he was able to breed up some professionals. Most of the cabinet members were technocrats, those that really knows their onions and are capable of handling the job. And I think that such thing will also be replicated this time around.
All right, on another rider from the Punch, Ganduje intensifies lobby as National Central APC demands chairmanship slot. When Ganduje's story hits the newsstands, I laugh in the sense that he's such a man that ought to be investigated. By now, he ought to have been arrested. And I see no reason why a federal high court in Kano State would restrict the Kano State Anti-Corruption Agency from establishing a case against the former governor. There was this time where a video went viral where he was pocketing dollars. And you still want to put this man as the #1 figure of the APC as a chairman. I see no reason why Nigerian politics keep bringing disappointment to people. Well, that is that. And another shocking one again. Dollar now 876 naira as forex shortage worsens. When will naira stand as one of the best currency in the world? And a very focused one again on the Punch newspaper. Workers kick as governors borrow 2.2 trillion naira from banks. All of these borrowing here. Governors borrowing spree he has left states poorer. Pensioners, workers laments. Government must avoid short-term borrowing that may harm state finances. Don't warn. Now, you hear Ogun State governor borrow this, borrow that. You hear Oyo State governor borrow this, borrow that. But there is no singular physical projects to account for it. Fine, Oyo State is having a working governor.
Exactly.
I have seen it. What stopped Ogun State? And I even heard about the disbursement of funds, grants, by the Ogun State governor. How through is this? That's number one. It might sound like a rhetorical question, but all the same, how many of the Ogun State indigents is having this first-hand information as regards these grants? Is it widespread enough? We shall go on a visit to the concerned ministry, maybe tomorrow, to have first-hand information. And I want to urge our fans watching that definitely we are going to bring someone to talk about that grants. So what do you have on your own rider?
Okay, from the rider here, from the Nigerian Tribune, above the masthead, I have this. Heaven will not fall if justice is done. And that is Atiku replying Tinubu. But before I come to that, Mori, let me just quickly read some things out for you. The presidential candidate of the People's Democratic Party in the 25th February election, Alhaji Atiku Abubakar, has told President Bola Ahmed Tinubu that heaven will not fall if justice is done by annulling his election. Now, Morire, the outcome of the tribunal, I think the information is unfolding now. The tribunals are concluding their justice based on the proceedings in the law courts in respect of the 25th February presidential election that took place in Nigeria. Now look at what Alhaji Atiku Abubakar just said, that well, if the election is annulled at the end of the day, that heaven will not fall. But what is your take?
Atiku should go and sit down and shut up. What has he to offer the nation? That while he was the vice president, we never saw or experience any good thing from him for 8 years, deputy to Obasanjo. What has he offered Adamawa State? Many of them are thieves. If he eventually wins by the judgment in the court and is being reinstated as president, is it a cause that Nigerians should worship Atiku for the 5th time? He should just wait. Let the tribunal take its mandate. Let's hear the pronouncement. And he should stop occupying the news headlines. As an individual, as a Nigerian that he claims, Nigeria is a country where anybody can just trek into without sound paper. So far, you have made your money, you are a big man in the country, you are a sacred cow, you can vie for any post. Ordinarily, I went to Seme, just a border town. I was queried that what's the paper? I mean, where's the paper that granted me access into Benin? That is how Nigeria should be. Through our land borders, our air and stuff, how many on our social register have we accounted that these are the figures of foreigners that entered Nigeria today? These are the numbers of people who left Nigeria today. Do we have any account on that? We are not meant to worship Atiku for the 5th time, for God's sake. And he should stop occupying the newspaper headlines. Rather, all of his wealth, let him share it to Nigerians. Remember, Obasanjo mentioned one thing, that the money Atiku is having can feed Nigeria more than 20 years to come. So what does he possess in character to be a leader? He should just keep quiet. Let's move on.
Now, Moriri, to extend that headline a bit, now, the tribunal, once again, there was a report that came out from the tribunal's judgments recently, of which Peter Obi was also claiming that if the election were to be annulled, he would be the right person that needs to occupy that position. But my question is, when children write exam in an entrance and we have the first, the second, the third position, is it possible for the third to become the first? Now, what Peter Obi was claiming was that he had 25% of the vote cast in the Federal Capital Territory, of which is part of the Constitution, as stipulated in the Constitution, that, okay, for you to be declared. But in the other way around, if you look at other states of the nation, Obi was not able to meet up with the target point. What is your view on that?
There is no argument, because we already have a clarified, how can I put it, a clarified figure and data. When an exam is conducted, we tend to have the first position to whatever position that is attached to it. All of these people are just yearning because they are beaten. And the forces behind their cries is what is bringing these stories on a daily basis. To me, the judiciary needs to work according to the figures, the hearings, the documentations they have as regards the presidential election January 25th. So let us just wait and see. I see no magic that can bring in Peter Obi. That is the right candidate who won the election. Where and what facts can he bring forward to knock off Atiku, who came second? And he too is clamoring to be given the presidency. Let's just wait and see.
Okay, Moriri, let's go political a bit. From here, now, if you look at the series of allegations against Ganduje, just like you read from the headline you read the other time, a lot of allegations were placed against Ganduje. Now, from the look of
allegations.
Exactly, the dollar issue, the contract, and the rest
his
of it.
tool.
Well, the video was going viral.
Went viral, and we saw it.
Exactly.
He claims that video was a Photoshop.
Okay.
It happens.
Well, it happens. Well, but at the same time, now the question is, don't you think at this point in time, it will be more advisable for the president, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, to step aside and allow the law to take its course? Because if you look at it now, like in the headline I have here, they said, presidents torn between Ganduje and Almakura, which means that there are some governors that want Almakura to be the next national chairman of APC, while the president is still insisting. Now, if at the end of the day, president prevailed over this, do you think President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is ready to lay an example of internal democracy to take place in his political party?
The thing is that whatever they do at APC. Definitely. The reason why they forced out Abdullahi Adamu was simply because he stood against Bola Tinubu becoming the president. And majority of Tinubu's loyalists, a majority at APC, felt he must not taste from the cake of the presidency. And naturally, where you have not worked, you should not expect food from the place. Because outrightly, Adamu showed his preference to a northerner. And eventually, him and his ambition failed. So now, if President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, I beg your pardon, wants to lead by example, he shouldn't drag himself into selection of a candidate to succeed Adamu. Rather, he should allow the National Working Committee. But there is no how, let us be frank with ourselves, there is no how that a national chairman wants to come, that the president will not have his own candidate. I want you to remember that. So, we may not hear anything from the president directly, but within themselves, they will know that this is the person the president wants.
Body language.
Exactly. So it's all politics. But for me, Ganduje is a no.
Now, to corroborate with what you just said,
Yes.
and there is this headline here: APC crisis. Adamu's greatest sin was trying to impose Lawan as presidential candidate.
Exactly.
Now, that's according to the vice chairman of national, the APC party.
Okay.
Now, the question is, lest we forget, don't forget that it was this same Bola Ahmed Tinubu
Yes.
that brought in Lawan when they were about to, they were about to form the 9th Senate then. After Bukola Saraki's tenure at the 8th Senate, when they were forming the 9th Senate, it was, Bola Ahmed Tinubu that moved the motion and, canvassed for Lawan to be the speaker, the Senate president then. So, looking at that, is it not the same imposition and, selection and or what have you, or what's your take on that?
In Nigeria, we have this culture, habitual culture of selecting our own people. And by selecting our own people is part of what is still killing the country, Nigeria. Because you are meant to put in place people, worthy people who merit it, not just because they are a loyalist. Ganduje is a very close pal of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. But let's digress. During the presidential election in Kano State, was Ganduje able to win Kano State for President Bola Ahmed Tinubu? No. His 8 years as governor in Kano State, what were his achievements? The governor now who succeeded him is from another political party. And before his inauguration, he kept on firing at Ganduje as regards all of the illegal projects Ganduje did, all of the misappropriations Ganduje did. So, I want to suggest that politically, all of these past governors shouldn't have come close to any political office or public office for now. Rather, they should allow EFCC, ICPC to investigate them when they are clean and freed from any investigation. They cannot vie for anything. But Nigeria is a country where the policies only work for the sacred cows. My submission.
Okay, Morire, recently, immediately this administration assumed office, one of the bold steps President Bola Ahmed Tinubu took was the announcement of student loan to assist the indigents and at the same time the students all over for them to benefit in the educational sector. But my question is, based on the issue of the complicated subsidy removal, fuel price hike and the rest of it, recently, I think last week, the school fee has gone up. Now, there was this headline I have here with me. It says, school fees increase. Don't snuff life out of us. Parents begs Tinubu.
Exactly.
Now,
It was a shock when I saw it. How can government colleges be paying 100,000 naira? Sent in from Unilag. It's barbaric, and the hardship is there already. Why the hike in school fees? Most of these people that are calling themselves our leaders today, most of them enjoyed free education. Most of them enjoyed, Nigeria did almost everything for them. So why can't we, the generation of today, enjoy such privileges? It is disheartening. It is too much on Nigerians. The pressure is high. So I want to urge everyone to just stay calm and understand the fact that everything will surely have a resolution.
okay. Now, let's go through this headline. We have Catch Crunch. Artisan now go into collabo to survive. A lot of artisans are trying to come together to see how they can survive.
Yes.
Now, do we now say that the economy is not working anymore, or what is it?
It is not working. If every Nigerian knows exactly what they are doing, we should all have a Glow SIM card. It is our own. We should all appreciate Nigerian goods. We should all be buying clothes from our brothers in the southeast. We should have working refineries. If we support Globacom and we ignore NTN, Airtel, and the other telecom, which used to be Etisalat, Naira, strength of Naira will rise. Where there is nothing working in your country, like Nigeria, you should expect high rate of corruption. Imagine the benefits MTN has achieved in Nigeria. Has Globacom ever gained such when it comes to ranking in the world? Individuals from developed countries assist their countries economically by establishing businesses, to mention a few.
But if you look at it, based on the issue of the epileptics in power, majority of Nigerian local industries are dilapidated. They are not functioning anymore.
Yes, it will be like that because nothing is working in this country. Nothing. The only time we ought to have enjoyed a better administration was during the time of Musa Yaradua, who later died in the office. Things were fine. Things were going smoothly. The corruption was minimal, but health-wise, we lost him to the cold hands of death.
But Moire, with all this mirage of problems, what do you think President Bola Ahmed Tinubu needs to do at this point in time?
The way he built Lagos, he should handle Nigeria. He can. He survived from the hands of federal government then. Alone, he maintained what every past governors after him brought to Lagos. His template still lives in Lagos.
But don't you think taking such step will first bring pains before later resort
Pains how?
to enjoyment?
All of those funds that was looted from the past administrations, let us call them to a round table talk and investigate them. All of those budgets, all of those money spent on dead refineries, let those money come back into Nigerian coffins and spend the money judiciously. Give it a mandate on NNPC and whoever is in charge of our refineries to make sure that under few months or within this first 4 years of my administration, I want to see 3 refineries working. Everyone who collected salaries during the 8 years of President Muhammadu Buhari should return those salaries. All of those budgets, all of those money, those funds that they kept on paying into the pockets of those people that were managing dead refineries. Tell me, is it normal? Is it sensible? A fallen building, you are telling us you are using 2 trillion naira to maintaining a fallen building. Doesn't make any sense. Secondly, Emefiele claims, suspended CBN governor, claims that he spent trillions in printing new naira notes. For what reason? So now, how many of the new naira notes was printed? Now, those trillions that were spent, the way they did it, what are the impacts to Nigerian economy? We enjoyed the time of Soludo. We enjoyed the time of Sanusi Lamido. So why is his own unquestionable? Why can't they just question him? Ask him questions. Let him come out with facts that can convince even a blind man that you spend trillions in printing new notes. It's shambolic. It's unrealistic. It is senseless. When we stop all of this corruption nonsense in this country, the better for us. But mind you, Tinubu cannot do it alone. Like minds only can help him. But I want to believe on one thing. He is a gifted man. He's a gifted man. He worked with my dad at Mobile. And some of the things Dad said to us then was that is calculative, as in he's a brilliant man. Forget about the age. Let's just exercise patience and let the court announce everything they are waiting for and see him working. So right about now, people watching, we want to say a big thank you to everything you've been supporting this channel as regards where we started from today. And this is how far we can go on it today. We urge you to subscribe on our channel, BGI TV Currents. You subscribe, you click on the notification bell, select option all to have access to all of our broadcasts. We say a big thank you and have a wonderful Monday and fruitful week ahead. My name is Moriri Lawan.
And it has been a wonderful time on the program for today. And I believe if you really enjoy the program, you join us tomorrow. I remain Ige or Lalikon. Bye for now.
The poor
Breathe.